Look, I'm OG when it comes to fantasy, okay? I've been posting pictures on my community tab, such as my War Sphinx I painted, must be 12 years ago, and this Hierophant that I found in a box, a Leech Priest, but this Leech Priest I found in a box, God knows how. But I used to play fantasy quite a lot with friends. I never played it super competitively. I weren't even casual. I was kind of like, I can't really remember how to play, but I want to put my models on the board so me and my friend are going to roll dice at each other. But since then, the game design, in my opinion, has developed quite a lot. In terms of simplified, not simple, being a good idea at concept. Obviously, not always executed perfectly, but you know, it's just one of those things. But game design as a whole has developed quite a lot. And the problem that I've probably simply got, and I think the problem a lot of people are going to have with Old World, is this. Now, I was sent a free copy by Games Workshop. Thank you very much, Games Workshop, for sending the free copy. And this isn't really like a stab at them. I just think they might have forgotten something in their marketing. But the Old World rulebook is exactly like the old fantasy rulebooks. It is huge. There is like 140 pages of rules alone in this 300 to 400 page tome. I don't know how many pages are in. There's a lot. However, they did try to make it easy, and they made a reference sheet, which I do really appreciate. I do love a good reference sheet. However, as soon as you want to start playing your faction, for example, Tomb Kings, you're going to need one of these, a Ravening Hordes book. Now, there is only like 25 pages of rules for each faction in here, on average like 20 to 25 per faction, but it's still a whole other book that you're going to have to carry around. And then if you do want to play specifically Tomb Kings and run special characters and all other army lists, you need this one as well, the Arcane Journal. Again, I actually have no problem with this, okay? Because I think this is what people want. They want a complex, in-depth game that has loads of cool rules for your armies, hundreds of pages of magical items. All of that is fine. The problem is the format. Now, Games Workshop have actually made some handy reference sheets, but I'm a 40k player, okay? I'm a 40k player. Now, they've sent me the Law of Magic deck, which is a really handy reference deck. They've sent me the Tomb Kings of Khemri deck, which is a really handy reference deck, and they've also sent me the Common Magic Items reference card pack. Now, this isn't a gloat about what stuff I have. I'm going to be talking all about that on a live stream at about 7 o'clock today. But the Tomb Kings reference cards are an interesting one, because it is 36 Tomb Kings cards for the Old World, covering magic items, weapons, talismans, etc. Now, the cards are really nice. They have like a little item key, and they have like, for example, the Flail of Skulls, which is the magical item that the Tomb Prince is holding in the starter box, and I'll go on to that in a minute. But it's like a little reference card about the magical item, that the Flail of Skulls, and what it does for your character and stuff. So it explains how the Flail of Skulls works, which is really nice. And I think these reference cards are good. But the problem is, or at least the problem I'm having, is not like having magical items, because that's something I'm going to remember about. It's a magical item. If I buy a Flail of Skulls, I'm going to remember to use it. The problem I have, really, now I know people want it for nostalgia, but the problem I'm having, like this as profiles, this doesn't fit in my brain anymore. This doesn't work, okay? Like, all the profiles make sense on paper. Like, I know what strength is, I know what toughness is. I know that I need to work out strength versus toughness to find out how to win things. I'm not dumb, okay? The thing is my skeleton archers have light armor, okay? Where do you find the rules for light armor? We find it in here. Now, light armor provides a 6-up save. Okay, that's relatively straightforward. Okay, you're like, Mikey, stop being stupid. And the thing is, that isn't the point. They are equipped with war bows. Where's the profile for war bows? Another page in here. And that is something that I think a lot of people who never played fantasy or forgot how to play fantasy are going to struggle to get around, okay? And the missed opportunity by Games Workshop with the Old World, in my opinion, except for stock issues, obviously, is the biggest innovation that they've made to well, not even the biggest innovation they've made, but the biggest innovation that they've picked up from the wargaming community as a whole. And it's data cards. One of the most glowing positive reviews as a 10th edition 40k player that you heard from other 10th edition players was indexers, because all the rules for an army or a model or a unit are on a single card that you drag out and you show your friends when you're playing them. I own loads. I don't know where they've gone. But the fact of the matter is that data cards, where all your rules are on a single card, or the rules for the unit at least, and then there's probably like some faction specific rules and some like maybe some like core special rules that kind of make sense, are like really handy when you're playing, because you can just go, what unit am I looking at? Okay, let me grab that card and let's look at their profile. And that isn't available in fantasy, or in the old world, should I say. That isn't available right now because it's gone back to its roots, which is obviously what everybody wants. But for learning the game, I think that's actually way more difficult. I've always been one to write your own cheat sheet, okay? Write a cheat sheet, write everything down that you need, write each profile for all your army in a list, and then just take that piece of paper, then you know what you're doing, okay? But I just love Photoshop, okay? I love making my own things that look kind of cool. So I've made a data card for every unit available in the starter sets, okay? For example, the skeleton archers, and they're available in a link in the description. Now, these aren't official, as it says at the bottom corner, unofficial data card. Also subscribe to Hellstormwargaming on YouTube, which you should do right now. These aren't official. I've made them look like 40k cards because I like Photoshop and I like trying to do things on Photoshop that look cool. And they aren't here to replace needing these books to learn for the rules of your army, or even the rule book, okay? I'm not trying to be like, I'm not Robin Hood being like, here's a free rules. If you want to find free rules, do that yourself. That's none of my business. However, having a lot of the core rules or the most used rules on your card for that unit, such as what is a war bow, what is a hand weapon, okay, what is the range of a war bow, I don't know, oh, it's on my card, it's 24 inches, it's one shot. And having other common rules that you're going to need when playing a unit, like Arrows of Asaph. It's a faction rule that you're going to need to remember all the time. It's going to come up all the time, and it's something you don't want to forget. Okay, what is open order detachment or regeneration 6+? They're core rules from the core rulebook that you're probably going to need to learn off the top of your head, and you'll find them in the core rulebook. But this is like, I wanted to launch these for like the starter sets. Now Games Workshop have provided these. This is the instruction manual from the starter sets, or like the launch box sets. They're not starter sets, to clarify. With a 1250 point army list, it basically gives you like for example, your Bone Dragon a little cool name, and it's like the Tomb Prince, the Prince Tolithor, the Radiant, and he's got a Flail of Skulls, which is a magical item, and this basically makes it up to 1250 points. But they essentially, all of these units in here are available as soon as you pick up the box. You don't even need to pick up the book, okay? What I wanted to do is to make handy data cards for the stuff in the box, so and then maybe you, if you want to use them, I can go off and learn how to play with my little data cards that are easier to read than current profiles, and go in my head better because it's a 40k profile, and I'm stupid and trying to learn multiple games in a time is pretty difficult. I'm already bad at 40k, probably, I don't know. But I do think Games Workshop not like redesigning the profile to be a little bit more modern, and then making data cards that they can make money from is very odd. And I thought it was a very odd decision. Like, I like these cards. I think they're a nice size. They're actually card size. They're like magic card size, I think. And it's funny because that's the law of magic, but you know what I mean. And they come with card sleeves. And I don't know, they're probably out of stock. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is I like the fact that they've brought cards out, but like bringing them out for magic items, but not data sheets or profiles or whatever they call them in this game, I think is a bit of a miss. So yeah, so I thought I'd give you some out for free that I've made for my games. I've made them for the Tomb Kings and for the Bretonnian armies. Now, the data sheets are like from units from the starter box, but they're more generic. They don't have the magical items. They don't have the names on and stuff like that. If you want to use your starter box and you want to use this and use the data cards, just be aware that this has magical items included, which I haven't included on the data cards, because then at least when you stop playing with this, you can use those data cards in other games, because they're a little bit more generic. They're actually from the Ravening Hordes and the other book as well, the Forces of Fantasy for Bretonnia. But oh, a little side note as well. I've kind of like simplified the data sheets to make them sense to me and maybe other 40k players. Like a Pegasus Knight is on a Pegasus. The Pegasus has a separate profile, but the only difference in profile is the number of attacks and the initiative it strikes at. So I just kind of like rolled them together, and it's not exactly like a fantasy profile. It's like a 40k one with the fantasy rules on it. And I just thought I'd raise that. But yeah, I just thought I'd let them, again, just thought I'd put them out there. Let me know if they're helpful, and otherwise I'll catch you with more old world content. I actually have the boxes, and there's a video being edited with them right now, and it's going to be, it's very good, okay? It's a really good video, and it's coming very soon, and I'm going to try out doing old world content, and if it's popular, I'll keep doing more. If it isn't, then it was a fun ride because I just love Tomb Kings, okay? All right, goodbye for now, and I'll see you at 7 p.m. Bye.